Welcome back to Celebrity Radio here at Coronation Street in the glorious Salford in Manchester, and we're talking to the stars of the show today, and we've got one for you. Faye Brookes is a multi-talented star that I've known for years. You don't know me, playing Kate Connor currently in the soap. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for having me.
You are delicious. I'll tell you why. Nothing impresses me more than great beauty, great talent, great acting, but the most importantly, you're a fabulous singer. It's a shame they can't create a role on Coro where you walk in singing every scene.
Oh, well, I have a very good family of singers as well, with Shane by my side and Kim by my side. We're all a bunch of singers. They should write that in.
There's a wannabe band about to happen any minute now, isn't there?
Absolutely.
I think so. I got to know you through musical theatre and on tour, and I reviewed many of the shows you're in, and Panto as well. You've got such magnetism on stage. I wonder what it's like going from that, where you've got the round of applause and the approval and the admiration every day, to then being in a studio where really you've just got to turn up and deliver and make sure you're 100% right and then go home 10 hours later.
That's the challenge. That's the difference for me, and I'm still learning. And I still do my homework. I still have my little book, and all the crew, bless them, everyone works so hard, and they're always giggling and poking fun at the fact that I have this book, but it's for me, so I can go home and make sure that I did do what I set out to do, because like you said, there's no round of applause at the end of my day. I do have this kind of inside of me this desire to round of applause everybody, and when they go clear. No, I don't get that. Everyone looks at me and says, what's she doing? That's not the etiquette, Faye. Pipe down, get off set. Okay, sorry.
Have you got a restraining order already when you're not appearing? Because I'm wondering whether this is going to end in tears.
No, I think everybody just sees that I'm so grateful to be here. And I have worked extremely hard to kind of defeat the odds and step into TV. And so I'm not wasting a second of it.
I love the fact that you're so gifted, but that's not surprising because you've been disciplined since the minute you were born. It seems to me you're one of those people that was obviously given a gift with your voice and your presence, but then you've got to forge your career, and that's difficult. You've never known anything else really other than this, have you?
No, musicals I do is my bread and butter, and I loved acting from a child, so I just literally threw myself into it to the point where my parents were like, do you need a backup? Do you want to go and do maybe English literature? And I was like, why? Because then you could just, be a teacher and this is my parents, lovingly, obviously so supportive, but always thinking about how difficult this industry is. And it really is. But like I said, I'm just enjoying every minute of this journey so far. Absolutely loving it.
And we look at your trajectory, I mean, from Legally Blonde to Shrek, which was brilliant, both sellout shows, and then to Coronation Street. I mean, you're aiming at the top, and the people you're surrounded by, I guess you're a sponge too that can learn quick around people who are more brilliant than you are, and that's a gift in itself. I mean, you've been around so many wonderful people, and I guess in this, if you can't learn from guys who've been doing it 25 years, what a blessing to be around these people.
Oh, absolutely. Hence why I'm so grateful. And I do think everybody, should say that they never stop learning. They never stop taking what they can from each and every person that you do meet. I get the absolute pleasure of working with the most talented people that have been in this industry for so long. Some of them have grown up here, like the likes of Brooke, and I'm in awe of her, and she's still so real and still so true to who she is. And then obviously we're very, very lucky to go off to all these awards, and it's very glamorous and meeting lots of people. And I got to meet Barbara Windsor the other evening, and Vic Reeves, and the whole cast of Downton, and I was just in awe of them because they're the people that I aspire to be, in their shoes, and to have their healthy, happy careers.
But on the other hand, I could throw that back at you and to say to stand on a stage in Salford or wherever that is around the world that you've performed, to hold that audience in the grip of your hand like you did with Princess Fiona, albeit a slightly ugly role that turns beautiful. You're not hard on yourself. You're not one of those actresses that always feels like you're never quite making it, are you?
I have just turned 29. And I said as soon as I woke up, I actually thought I would have done more by now. But I know how lucky I am to have had landed the roles that I have had.
I don't think luck lasts this long. I think it'll last for perhaps 6 months.
I worked stupidly hard. Like, I was always that one at drama school that had to work the extra hour to get those steps. I had to put myself for those extra singing lessons, make sure that I did my homework, make sure that I went home and I went over every single line, every single thought and feeling. And yeah, I did work myself to that place, because I think that is now paying off, and I will hopefully continue to work in the same work ethic.
And then we look at your character in Coronation Street, and it's very different to what you were just playing. I mean, there aren't many laughs so far, are there, really?
No, and I quite liked about when I did first enter Coronation Street is that I had this list of kind of like her background story, and then it was up to me. So that was like, wow, like you're giving me permission to create something here. And yes, there's not been so many laughs so far, because they're a very big, strong family that's gone through a lot of downs, and there's always drama with us. And so I kind of loved that I wasn't being this fairy tale princess, that I had the challenge of having to do scene after scene of crying, or, you know, going through an emotional storyline with the likes of Ali King, who's obviously plays my sister in the programme, who's now left, and I really miss her. But that was amazing. I loved that. And yes, it's very different to theatre, but there's nothing like live. There's nothing like stage. And now it's a case of rounding Kate off and making sure that I'm growing with her as the audience are getting to know her too.
Help me with that then. So where's it going? It's been a lot of drama, it's been a lot of heartache, and now you get to become something different. What are we going to see in the coming months?
I think it's really exciting to know that Kate has finally found a home, and it's Weatherfield. She's making friends here, there and everywhere. And I think it'd be really, really nice for the audience to see her settled and maybe in a position with her career. You know, she wants to get her hands stuck in with the job, but she doesn't want to be in packing. So who knows? And I know that she's ambitious. Look at her sister, look at her dad and her brother. It's in her. So who knows? She's very similar to me in that way, but yeah.
And what about love? Is she going to find love?
I hope so. I do really like that she's finally friends again with Sophie. And we never know what's going to happen of their relationship, but there's always something there, and I love that. I think that tease is great. But I do hope she finds love, because she's just never found that blissful kind of happy. I think she thought she had that with Kaz. She really believed it, and I think she wanted to believe it. But that's the whole, you know, sad side to it all.
This is Coronation Street. Is there a possibility she could end up dating Beverly Callard, somebody like that?
Who knows? I love this conversation. It's the one conversation I have with everybody outside of
Emily Bishop, something like that.
Is she going to suddenly start dating men? You know, we don't know. And I love that. That's what the great thing about soap. Great thing about that.
And I guess every time you turn the page is a new chapter for you, because you don't know what they're going to write next time.
I can't tell you how excited I get when I see a script in my pigeonhole. It's like I've just got an early Christmas present, because you don't know what's going to happen. And the writers are brilliant. There's so many of them, and they all work extremely hard, and they're so far in advanced in having to write for, say, I think we're filming now for October. They're filming for January. It's like, wow. So to know that I'm going to turn this page and not know what happens, it's exciting, and also it can change for us too. We could be inspiring them as we're going along with the scenes that we're filming now. So that's what's also thrilling about this job.
I think it's a good time for you to be here as well, because there seems a lot of younger cast that have come in to help you
we're a whole
bed into
new generation of Coronation Street. You watch out. It's happening. It's changing. I'm really proud.
Were they welcoming to you? Because walking in this place is intimidating, even if it's just an interviewer coming in. It's the great Coronation Street that my dad and my grandma all watched, and there's an expectation, isn't there? You've got to be good or you'll be laughed out the building. How were they welcoming you into the cast?
Oh, I didn't make it until, like, in my dad's eyes, until I stepped into Coronation Street. Like that. I was like, thanks, Dad. The people here literally are one big family, welcoming arms. You know, I was so nervous starting, and to know that I was going to be filming alongside Barbara Knox and Bill Roach, I was just in awe, absolute awe. But they're like now friends, and they are so sweet, and they're real, and they're not these characters that you've watched for decades. They are genuinely hardworking people, and we all just kind of get on with it. It's a train. You got to jump on it because it's fast.
And if not, you'll get knocked over, won't you?
Exactly.
And I get the feeling they care as well. I do feel that with new cast members, you're sort of bringing the show forward and you're taking it to the next generation. They care so much about the show that if you fail, they're going to fail too. So they really do care about you bedding in.
Absolutely. And I think there's that whole kind of, we've got a great reputation here at Coronation Street, and it has been going for so long for that reason. And so when new people come in, I think it's about just making sure that everybody's on the same page, that we're all here to keep making this loving, northern, great soap.
And then we look at you being delicious and gorgeous. Yes, you are. I saw those pictures the other day. You can take it or leave it, whatever you want. Is that fun for you, going from sort of the downbeat Kate in Coro to then standing on a red carpet and looking delicious? I mean, you look fabulous. You know that, don't you?
I'm really, really nervous in those situations because I'm not hiding behind a character. I'm myself, but I'm also trying to show people that I'm versatile. That's the point, I think, for everybody who gets to do those red carpets, is that you see into a little bit, you get a little bit of Faye, and that's quite daunting too. So if I get to get dressed up and be a girl, which is my favourite thing in the whole world, to put on makeup and lip gloss, because we're not allowed lip gloss at work, I love it. I was born in heels. Obviously, I've been on stage forever, so to wear high heels all night long is great, and it's fun. And actually those moments where we are all together as other soaps as well, and with other ITV dramas or other BBC dramas, you know, the whole world of TV is there, we're all getting to catch up and just see where everyone's at. And I loved it. I absolutely love it. And that's probably why I'm beaming and smiling and glowing, because I'm just having a really good time.
And I notice it's a really interesting time for celebrities of your ilk at your age. I mean, there's never been more demand for what you do, what you look like, where you're going, what you're thinking, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, blogs. I know you have all of those. I wonder whether that becomes too much sometimes, because I've stopped doing Facebook and Twitter because I just find it invasive. I find my whole day about, I must tell people that, and you actually think, well, no. Your fans sort of expect it and want it from you. I mean, I know you were just on holiday and you did some beautiful pictures. You look stunning in them. But is there a pressure that's added on to sort of have, when you're off, still be on?
I think there's a social media influx with everybody's job now who is involved with this entertainment industry. That makes sense because it's so powerful. Like, I didn't realise how many people were watching Coronation Street that were of, you know, a younger generation. And that's inspiring. So of course I want to let them know where I'm at and show them what kind of things I do outside of work, because that's giving them a little bit of me as well. And keeping them interested is a good thing for the soap, because it kind of goes hand in hand. You're on TV 3 times a week, and then you're also, you have a life. So I think it's a good balance, and I do think it's a very personal thing. If you don't want to be on Facebook, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. And I don't actually spend my days on Facebook. I think it's a great thing to keep in contact with friends and family. A lot of my friends are doing very, very well, and I'm very, very proud to be associated with them. And I think that's a great thing that we've got something so powerful as Facebook now to help link Instagram and Twitter. And that's great. I think we should celebrate that. And I think we should move with the times. That's what I am all about. Just let's keep on our front foot.
You also have to remember, I'm very old and very ugly. So there is a big difference, Faye. Now, talking about private life and all of that, I first interviewed Gareth Gates when he came out of the reality show Into Joseph, and we sat there in that dressing room, and I'm so proud of him and what he's achieved. And the life you have together seems nothing short of idyllic. How are you? Is that going great? Are we going to ever see maybe a walk down the aisle with Rita wearing another big hat?
We are very happy, thank you. We have to work extremely hard at keeping our relationship private as well, and he is doing very, very well. I'm super proud of him, and likewise, we're both just trying to help each other out and keep going. We actually spend probably half the time with each other that a normal couple would, but we are very happy.
Must be tough. I mean, he's on the road constantly and you're here, and previously you were on the road and he was on the road, which is impossible. You're never going to be in the same city at the same time, because you were both doing the same type of theatres and scale of theatres too. What pressure is there to stay in contact? I guess with Skype, with FaceTime and all that, that makes it much easier, which of course our parents didn't have.
We just do it. We just do it because we're happy and we're together, and that's all that matters. We make that time ours. I always idolise my parents. They've been married 32 years and my dad works on the oil rig, so he spends majority of the year away at sea and never sees my mum. And they've brought up 4 amazing kids and they have this wonderful house and amazing memories. They made it work because they just do it. And that's exactly what I'm doing with my man.
We can get pretty self-indulgent, can't we, sometimes, and think that show business is the be-all and end-all, but actually in reality you're doing a great job, you're being relatively well paid for it, and you get to do lovely photo shoots at the end of the day.
We work very hard. The pair of us are, that it's just in us, and I think we kind of admire that about one another too.
I'm amazed when I see people like you in the theatre. I have greatest admiration. Anybody who can turn up 8 times a week and knock it out of the park, I think is stunning. That discipline that you have, that you've proved over many, many years that you can do it constantly and keep getting the next gig, because we can all get one gig. Can you get the next one? You have. Going into this, though, is a completely different level of show business, and suddenly people are interested in your every word, in your every move. Has that been shocking to you, how interested the press and the public are by you since you turned up here in Salford?
Yeah, I was very overwhelmed by all of that. Suddenly people wanted to know what I did when I went to the gym, or what kind of things do I like to do when I'm not at work, or my downtime. How many brothers and sisters do I have? I was like, okay. But I also am one of those kind of people that's just quite friendly and wears my heart on my sleeve. So I kind of have to be very careful, because I do think once you give everything away, it's good to have a bit of mystery. That's what I'm aiming to have. I hope I do have that.
I think you're going to have a stunning career moving forward. I wonder your plan. Are you here as long as they want you? How long are we going to see you in Coronation Street? Because there's no question, if you left tomorrow, you'd be in work instantly, because A, on the back of this, that's not going to hurt, but you've already proved you can do it. You're not a risk in any show.
I love this job. I have never been so happy until I've been Kate Connor in Coronation Street. So I'm happy to stay as long as they want me.
How fantastic. And walking out on that cobbles, is there any way of describing the feeling of embodying that? Yeah, I mean, that says it all, doesn't it?
I just got goosebumps. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here. I'm so grateful. I can't express to you how, what's the word to describe it? Stepping on the cobbles. I'm going to say it feels like I'm coming home, because I do feel like I'm meant to be here. And I'm just loving it.
And you fitted in beautifully. I hope you find love and happiness in this show, because she deserves it. She's a nice person, but she just seems a little confused by the world or something. There's something not quite right. And I wonder what those pesky little writers are thinking, because they'll take it somewhere. They always do.
Oh, they do. And they're brilliant at it. I can't wait. I hope I'm inspiring them to come up with something juicy.
Congratulations on everything. Faye Brookes is the new big star of Coronation Street. I wish you all the best. You are a huge star, and I hope we talk again.
Thank you so much.